Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's so great to have you here. I'm Wendy Rose Williams, for those of you who don't know me, and I am a past life energy healer. And what that means is I have the privilege of helping people release energy that does not serve you anymore, whether it is chronic pain, physical or emotional, whether it's anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, like you cannot get going and are just having difficulties in embracing that life that you want to enjoy and are wanting to align with that purpose and being able to have those wonderful feelings of peace and love and joy and gratitude that we all so really appreciate and get to experience. So let me just mute everybody for a moment here, and we will absolutely unmute a little bit later. And let me walk you through what we're going to do. So today is going to be, we'll start with an energy clearing and blessing like we always do. And then we're going to jump into the topic of soulmates. What the heck are soulmates anyway? And where is mine? Why is it so difficult? Is it really what I think it is? What's going on with this very intriguing topic, as well as soul contracts and how do those come into play? And I just really see soulmates and soul contracts going hand in hand, because often we have soul contracts or agreements that we made before we incarnated, before we were born into any particular lifetime of what we want to work on. So you are welcome to put into the chat. Chat is in the bottom middle of your screen. You can just hover your cursor over it, and you're welcome to put in any questions that pertain to soulmates and or soul contracts. And let me work one more time to get us all muted here. And okay. All right, very good. So what we're going to do, as I said, is start with an energy clearing and blessing from the angels, and then we will dive into the topic. I have just a few slides to share, including how you can get a free copy of one of my books today. So I will share that with you in a PowerPoint in a moment, and then we will unmute everybody. So at the moment, invite you to relax. You're welcome to close your eyes. You can turn off your camera if you'd like to. Camera, video, and audio is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you're not familiar, depending if you're what device you're on, it can be trickier from a phone. But let's get started. Let's get fully into your body. Thank you, angels, for sweeping your nets up to the core of Mother Earth, through everyone's physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies, through everyone's financial body, creative body, relationship bodies, romantic bodies, mental bodies, subtle bodies, aura, any body I mentioned or did not mention. Angels, please sweep your nets through them, taking with you anything that does not serve us, taking with you any energy we've outgrown, any self-limiting beliefs, any energy that doesn't make sense for us anymore, that doesn't serve us anymore, but that we're still tripping over somehow. Please take with you any energy that's not ours, energy we're ready to let go of, energy that's ours in combination with someone else's. Please take it up to the light for healing now, so we can be crystal clear as to who we are, who we're meant to be, how we want to express ourselves, and just feel really comfortable and confident at doing so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sweeping, we'll do that twice more. Thank you for sweeping your nets through our homes and properties, taking with you any energy that is not supportive to us or to the other wonderful people who live in our homes, be they two-legged, four-legged, finned, feathered, or furred, whatever they might be. And thank you, thank you, thank you for sweeping your nets and blessing our homes and our properties so that they can be wonderful places for us to feel happy, safe, comfortable, truly sanctuaries, places to relax, places to have a big smile on our face, our lovely, lovely homes. Thank you for blessing them and clearing them for us. and aligning them, as I said, not only to those of us who are listening live on the call right now, but who may listen to it later, helping sweep your nets through the homes and properties of everyone who chooses to listen to this soulmate and soul contract workshop together, which is including an energy blessing from the angels. And let's turn our attention to the outside of our homes, our properties, our yards, our blocks, our streets, our neighborhood, whatever feels like the right distance for you. And let's just bless Mother Earth in all those areas. And she lets us live here at such a pivotal time, providing us with everything we need and just all the beauty, all the resources from a gracious Mother Earth, from this gorgeous planet. Let's just bless those in return as she blesses us with so, so much. Thank you, angels, for sweeping your nets through our emotions. Yes, we come here to experience emotions, and many of them are amazing. Many of them are wonderful. But I'm asking you to please sweep your nets through the emotions that no longer serve us, particularly in the subject area of soulmates and or soul contracts. Because my goodness, that is really where we get our work done in so many ways. It can be uplifting, it can be wonderful, or it can be triggering as more than anything else in our lives. So thank you for sweeping your emotions through any anger, any rage, any sadness, any depression, any disappointment, any feeling of not being supported or loved or cared for or respected. Thank you for sweeping your nets through those sorts of energies, lack of any type, disappointment, expectations not being met. Thank you, thank you, thank you for taking that with you, sending it down our grounding cords, and bringing up more of what we need. Again, from a gracious Mother Earth, we can bring up that fountain of youth energy from her magnetic core, bringing up any and all of the resources that we need from Mother Earth, and that's allowing us to be fully in our bodies, inviting our higher selves, our brilliant souls with all the distilled wisdom across all lifetimes to be fully, fully in our bodies, inviting in the highest beings of light, guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, whoever God, whoever you most relate to. Thank you for being here with us and helping us connect up to the divine in lovely, satisfying ways, particularly as we work through this very intriguing, always interesting topic of soulmates and soul contracts. Thank you, thank you. It is done, so be it. So you can feel yourself just gently coming back fully into your body. If you traveled a little bit with that blessing, and we're just letting go of some things. That was the whole purpose. Again, you're welcome to put into the chat any questions about soulmates and soul contracts, and that will be our, we'll get to that in a moment. And I've also put in there for you in the chat some links that you're so welcome to copy paste and to save for yourself, things like my website. And on my website, you will find workshops like this and complimentary events that you're so welcome to sign up for. You'll find information regarding my podcast, which is called Waking Up Spiritually. And the podcast archives is wakingupspiritually.com. And it has a search button on it. So you're able to put in any topic that you'd like help with, be it soulmates, be it connecting with your guides, energy management, past lives, whatever it might be. You can pop that into the search button on Waking Up Spiritually, and you're likely to find a podcast or two on that topic. You'll also find my author page on Amazon. And as I mentioned, my second book, The Flow One Plymouth Plantation, is free on Kindle today and today only. So February 12th, and you can just go to Amazon and download a free copy of it for yourself. via Amazon. And then you'll also finding the links. And someone is saying, is there a dial-in number? I'm not hearing anything. I'm so sorry, Diane. You might want to try refreshing your browser. Oh, she can't hear me saying that. Let me put that into contacts. Refresh. Let me just type that in real quick. Because no, there's not a dial-in number. It's the Zoom link, and then you're here. For anyone that can't hear or is having difficulty, I am recording today, and I will share this today, so it will be available. Let me let her know that too. And Pat's saying recording audio is fine there. So let me just type that in real quick. And this will be up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is my full name, Wendy Rose Williams. So you can search for it that way. Okay, that is the best we can do to try and take care of Diane, since she unfortunately can't hear us. So hopefully she will see that in the contacts button. So, all right. Let's get started then. So I'm going to share my screen with you here and just bring up a quick PowerPoint with a couple of links for you. And again, welcome and thank you for taking the time and being here. So let me share my screen and bring up the PowerPoint. Here we go. So let's bring this up. Let's just see if I can remember how to do this. Here we go. All right, so here we are starting off in screen 5. Let's go back up to screen 1 here. So welcome, soulmates and soul contracts. I just loved this visual, the two kitties, and just the black and white. And look at those, the perfect heart from their tails. And my dog now says, let me out of the room. So let me open the door for her. You don't like the kitties? You wanted it to be a picture of dogs. Well, it's not. It's a picture of kitties. So Henley says, exit left on that. All right. So let's talk about some of, my goodness, there is just so much energy around soulmates and what people feel soulmates are and are meant to be. And this ideal can be us just walking down the beach and just this wonderful, gorgeous scenery and that marvelous, marvelous partner. It can also be just the desire for really meaningful, uplifting, supportive human connection. My goodness, don't we all come for that too? You know, be it family, be it friends, be it our birth family or the family that we've created. And just so much want and expectation in this area. And what I find is souls tend to go back to who feels like home. This can be wonderful. It can be, oh my gosh, I've met this person and they just feel so familiar to me. My heart just feels so happy with them right from the instant we met, and we can feel that soul recognition. We can just be finishing each other's sentences. And that can be marvelous. That can be marvelous for months or years or a lifetime, or it might go sideways. And at a certain point, we're just discovering, okay, might feel really familiar and may have felt great in the beginning, but I have to be honest, this relationship isn't right for me anymore. It's not serving me anymore. And that can be really painful to go through that experience. Anyone who's had a breakup of a significant romantic relationship or had a divorce or whatever that might be. So that can be a real growth opportunity and an opportunity to rebuild on higher ground. And that can take us some significant work too. So many of us, as I said, are looking for that idealistic, beautiful walking down the beach. And yes, we can have that and create that. But some of us can be feeling more like it's being punched in the jaw, or we're the one that's wanting to do so. So don't take this too literally. I'm not condoning it, but it's just a great graphic. Or look at those two people on the bench. You know they want to connect, but my gosh, she's just feeling off somewhere else and just doesn't even want to express herself anymore. And just the body language, she's just facing the other way. And this poor guy is just giving up. He's like, gosh, I just cannot make myself clear. Why can we not communicate? And again, he's feeling like he's really up in his head too. So that reality can be really tough as we work through that energy with the soulmate. I see soulmates as individuals that we have spent many lives with. So that's why they feel like home. That's why we make agreements with them. That's why we make soul contracts, because we really learn with them. And part of what can be coming up that can make this energy just go sideways is past life energy influence. That's what this bottom picture is in the right. It is a past life sketch from my talented friend, Marjorie O'Meara, who sketched me. I'm the female on the left, in a past life in the late 1300s, early to mid 1400s in the North Seas. And my goodness, what an amazing life. And in a sentence, I was a Robin Hood pirate. I helped liberate food for people that were hungry and could not afford food and could not afford the ridiculous rates that were being charged. And so I liberated food. I was a pirate. So a Robin Hood pirate. And this is my second husband that was sketched. And it was very interesting because I met him. I had 3 husbands in that lifetime. It's not a very long-lived life often as pirate, of course, because you are very much outside the law. And the ramifications of that can be pretty big and can be captured and put to death. So I have met all 3 of those husbands, and this was my second husband. And Marjorie drew that wonderful sketch of him during the time period when he and I were together and were dating, and it was meant to be a birthday gift to him. It was very interesting. Just as she was completing it, I was hearing that relationship was wrapping up. So I didn't even get to gift it to him. So it became a matched pair, and that's okay too. So I made my peace with that. Thankful we met, thankful we had the experiences we did and released the energy that we needed to. And as I said, I've now got a marvelous matched pair of past life sketches from the 1400s. And my goodness, how many people get to say that? That's kind of a rare gift that Marjorie O'Meara has, and I feel just honored to get to have them. So another big past life experience that I had was at Plymouth Plantation, so colonial America, 1600s. And that is the book that I'm making available to you free today on Kindle. So here's the link. So you would simply go to Amazon.com, or you can just copy paste this, use your cursor and copy paste it and do it as soon as we're done with the workshop, because it's free until 11:30 p.m. tonight. And it's called Plymouth Plantation, spelled with the I, the original spelling. It is a soulmate story. It's a profound soulmate soul contract experience that is shared in that book. So that just seemed perfect to make free to you today. So let me stop screen sharing here, if I can figure out how the heck to do that. And if not, we won't worry about, oh, here we go, stop share. I was going to say, we won't worry about Wendy's tech skills. There we go. So let's look into any comments, or we can just unmute. Okay, so no one's got any comments or questions in the chat. So you are welcome to unmute. Let me invite everybody to unmute. And you can just ask me any questions you have about soulmate. your questions about whether you've actually met one or why it's been difficult or any questions you've got. Or soul, I'm here for you. What would you like to know? Happy to share. And there may be others in the group that have wisdom for you too. So who has a question in that area? Elizabeth, did you have a question?
I did. I typed it in comments, but it didn't show up. I
Oh,
don't know.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I just see a hello from you, Elizabeth. I
Yeah,
did.
I know. I'm used to typing in an office where you put commas and all that. But yeah, um, I want to know the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. And will your soulmates always be part of your soul group?
Okay, let's take those two wonderful questions. Thank you for starting us off. I
Okay.
see twin flames as a specific type of soulmates. Soulmate, we have many different types of soulmates. Soulmates can be best friends, they can be supporters. They do not have to be a romantic partner. So let's just start with those. And my gosh, don't we appreciate those? It can be an amazing neighbor or boss. It can be your parent, your sibling, your child, best friends, but just those people that you just really enjoy or can really be learning lessons from, because soulmates are for lessons. So often it's the people where it's hard, where they trigger us. And that can be a soulmate too, because soulmates are not just those marvelous, kind, supportive friends and cheerleaders for us. It can go, the energy can go either way. And guess what? Both are equally valuable. But
Okay.
obviously, one's easier to enjoy and embrace than the other. But we certainly can learn how to work with that challenging soulmate energy where there's a lesson to learn. And sometimes that lesson is, it might be forgiveness, it might be gratitude, it might be boundaries. So just so many different lessons that we can learn there. So that's kind of my take on that. And then twin flames, I see as a very specific type of soulmate that is literally the other half of our soul. And it's a choice, it's a decision if we're going to have a twin flame and then choose to, it's a soul choice that we make when we're home. Are we going to separate from our twin flame and then go out and have some very different experiences? Because that is a way to progress when we've just chosen to do that. And then we're working to really, really incorporate all those lessons and experiences, and then to come back together and meet our twin flame, reunite with our twin flame. Many people have twin flames, but they don't meet them. Your twin flame might be on the other side. They might not be incarnated at this time, or you might be in different parts of the world, or they may be incarnated on another planet or in another dimension. But if you do meet your twin flame, if you're sensing or think you might have actually met your twin flame, it can be a profound experience of the intensity of it, just prepping for it or literally going through it. And what our twin flame does is it's like holding a mirror up to us. Because again, this is the other half of our soul. So we're going to see those places that we just feel remarkably great. And it's just magnified because it's work that we've done and we've completed. And also that mirror is going to show us the parts of us that are not yet healed, that we like the least about ourselves. And it's going to be magnified with a big intensity. So that's why a lot of twin flames who do meet in the physical can come together like this, like, oh my gosh, best of the best. And then it can be like Oh, wow. It's too much. It's too intense. And there can be a lot of coming together, and then one or other can just run from the intensity of it and just seeing those pieces of you that are not healed. Because it really is very triggering to need to heal those parts. Some people do that work beautifully and they do it together, and one is rising up, inspires the other, and they give that one a helping hand, and then the other one is better at certain things, so they're rising up and they're giving the other one a helping hand. But then again, there can be these moments of, I've just had it with you. I mean, I'm just done with you. And that can just feel like the biggest loss. It can feel like literally we've lost a part of ourselves. We can feel that with soulmates too. But I think the intensity of it, that's the best word I have for that twin flame type of energy. I have been through it. Um, so I do have familiarity with that. And I've had a lot of clients help them through that. And they've talked about it too. So did I hit the mark? Does that help with those two questions?
Um, yes, I believe my twin flame is on the other side, but
Mhm.
communicate. Yeah, I can hear him, and it's
Okay.
really enough to drive you crazy because he talks to me. I'm
Okay.
clairaudient, and
Yes.
I've seen lights. I mean, he moves stuff.
Okay.
And I know the difference between that and a ghost because I've had a ghost in my house, but this
Right.
is very
And
loving.
you know it's specifically your twin flame.
Just listening to something. What's up?
Okay. And whoever's got another conversation, if you'd be so kind as to mute, because I
You
don't know
won't.
what it is. So Elizabeth, was that you were commenting about the twin flame? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. I think we're back in one conversation here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can still put boundaries around it, because if you're clairaudient, that is my strongest clair too. And we can just be, it's like tuning a radio dial. It's like, I do not need 10,000 stations all going at once. So when you to talk with your twin flame and get guidance and support and wisdom, I mean, you can be the one that can reach out and just be running that through your higher self. You can run that through your guides, because again, it's a way of respecting and loving yourself to have boundaries. If it feels like it's too much and it's interrupting and then you're having to sort it out all the time, is that fair to say how it's feeling now?
Right. Uh, I know it's loving, I think, but I use all different kinds of protection techniques. I call upon Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, all of them. So,
But it just feels like there's still too much from your twin flame. Is that true?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's just talk to your twin flame right now. Let's bring your higher self fully in your body. You've got Archangel Michael. You have Mother Mary. We would
Mhm.
really, really appreciate Elizabeth being able to speak with her twin when it makes sense to her. It needs to be for her highest and holiest by her terms. She's sovereign. She has a body. She's on the planet Earth. She's grounded, higher self in her body, and she gets to decide. And I completely respect her twin is on the other side, but her twin is fine, 1,000,000,000% fine, and does not have the right to be interrupting. So she gets to choose when you get to choose, Elizabeth, when you're going to connect. Do you feel like you can stand up for yourself like that? Or do you feel like you're someone who just lets yourself be interrupted a lot and just like a lot of energy just kind of running over you?
Well, right now, I would say running over because
Okay.
I'm stuck in this apartment. I'm lonely. I can't get out.
Okay.
You know, I'm in a senior care center, so I'm just kind of trapped here, but
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Okay.
But
Let's get you feeling comfortable. Let's put in a big circle of mirrors around you. And the
mhm,
mirrors are going to reflect your light out beautifully. And these mirrors are going to swivel as they need to. They also are protective for you. They shine back to others, which you don't need. They're giving you enough space where you're sovereign, carrying just your own energy. You get to choose when you connect and when you don't connect. And those mirrors shine back to others what's theirs. And it just gives you more room where you can just be you and not feel like too much is coming at you all the time because you are so clairaudient. I have a good
mhm.
friend um, um, who it's a different intuitive artist, not Marjorie, but another one. And when she first started sketching for spirit, the line of spirits that wanted to be sketched was endless because they wanted to be understood and heard. And they were so excited that she had this marvelous gift. So they were poking at her, they were waking her up in the middle of the night. She was just being disturbed all the time. And she had to put in some really strict boundaries. And her boundary was, I am happy to sketch you, but it's going to be determined who's going to be sketched. And I'm only going to be sketching when I have a sketch pad in my hand and sit down in my office. That means it's office hours. And that's
Okay.
happy to talk with you and sketch you. So she just had to really take control of that because there were literally thousands. Psychic mediums who are first opening can go through that process too. You really have to set in some beautiful boundaries for yourself. Does that help, Elizabeth?
Very much. Thank you so
Good,
much.
because your guide, your twin, no, they don't get to be rattling your cage, so to speak. Ancestors can do that too with the very best intent and want to help us. That's why I really like to bring our higher self, our own soul, fully into our body and be wonderfully grounded and ask our guides and guardian angels, whoever you most relate to be around you exactly like you were doing.
Okay.
And then we can decide who we interact with and just take it from there. So I hope that helps.
It did.
Good, good, because I think
Thank
that's pertinent. Oh, you're so welcome, because I think that's pertinent for a lot of people. Oh, Mary, you are singing my song here. What if two soulmates have a soul contract, but only one is willing to honor the contract? Oh my gosh, that can be so painful if we're the one that wants to honor the contract and wants to move forward with something. And it doesn't have to mean a marriage, it can be to publish a book together, it can be to help uplift humanity in some way together. So again, we are recording there and we are going to share this publicly, but can you just share a little bit more in a way that you're comfortable with? Would you be willing to share a little bit more about what the situation is? So Mary, are you up for commenting a little further what the situation is, or do you want me to speak to it generically? Okay, and I can see you, Mary, but I can't hear you. So I'll just share an example. I had that exact situation where I had a very profound contract that it was with a soulmate that I so wanted to live out because we were meant to marry later in life. And that was exactly when we had met, and we were dating exclusively for over a year. We were meant to write books together and that were to uplift humanity specifically, that were to help people with their spiritual awakening. And we were meant to be on radio and or television. And believe me, my primary energy is peace. I just do not love the limelight. It's taken a lot of work for me to be able to come on camera and to speak publicly. It's just taken a lot of energy and effort. Whereas he had that background in training, he was already a published, a very skilled writer. I had not published a thing, and he was already on television. So I saw it as just really complementary skills, because we just had so much, but we both so much wanted to be in service together. And I saw it as coming through us marrying. But free will, baby. Free will is a choice. And if only one person wants to go forward with that, it can just be so painful. Because I really wanted to move forward, and he instead, because he could feel that energy, he instead ended our romantic relationship. And I was devastated because I saw it as not only not moving together in the marriage, but I was very literal, and I thought, oh my gosh, there goes the books. We're not going to be able to publish these books that were meant to write together to help others. That felt incredibly devastating to me. And also, I was secretly a little bit relieved about at that time. This was years ago, about oh, no radio, no TV. Oh, okay. Because I had to do a lot of growth to be willing to move forward in those areas. So what happened was, as I recovered from really what felt like the biggest loss and heartbreak of my lifetime, and this was back in 2011. So I've had quite a few years to process through it now. At this point, what happened was, as I sat and really worked with my guides and my higher self and said, please heal me from this. I don't understand, because it could absolutely see the contracts for us to have done this beautiful work together. But he wasn't willing. He wasn't up for it. And what happened is I just asked for the healing and to be released from what wasn't going to work, being a practical woman, because you can't have just one person moving forward with it, with that agreement. I asked my guides I said, can you find a different way? I still want to help humanity. I still want to find a way to share those books, write those books. And again, remember, I had nothing written at that time. I'd tried and tried and tried, and I just could not figure it out. And I would still love to be able to uplift others and to be able to help them. Is there a different way? Is there a new way? And once I asked that question, oh my goodness, everything just started to rearrange, because our guides are endlessly patient with us. So they found a different way. So once I let go of it having to be so literal, of he and I being married and writing the same book at the same time together, that's what I thought it meant, very narrow definition, and being together on radio or TV, whatever way we could reach the most people to help them. Once I let go of that and just said, show me the way. If I'm supposed to serve in that way, show me a new way. It went boom, 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 boom. And just new ways came up. I helped him get his first book published, because he had not published a book. He'd published screenplays. I helped him get the first book published. And he's actually the client in my first book, Regression Healing 1. And he graciously agreed that I could share his past life regression session with me, because it was profound. And he agreed I could obviously blind his identity, because the identity is not the point. The point is the energy and just the healing energy that was there. So that's how my book got published. So it wasn't anything I saw coming, but it was beautiful. It was perfect. The contracts just rearranged themselves into a way that we were both comfortable with. And guess what? He ended up coaching me, and he actually found my first programs for me to speak on publicly, where I could share some of that journey and other journeys and other information and healing that was coming to me and through me, and I could share it publicly. And he actually coached me and helped me get on those programs because I had no idea how to make any of those contacts. And he did, he knew how. So it just, again, it's just a different way. So does that help, Mary? When one person wants to move forward and the other one does not. And then she's got another comment. He's my old soul family member. Yeah, I understand. So those soul family it can be so interesting because we have so much history with them. We can just have so much energy with them, and some of it's delightful and it's just moving forward, and other energy from it, because there's a lot of history, we can just trip over it and fall flat because there's too much energy versus attracting in a marvelous life partner. So I would like to say to Disney, and I would like to say to pop culture, please stop with the constant telling us that only a soulmate is good enough, or only a twin flame is good enough for this marvelous romantic partner. It's not true. It's not true. We can absolutely have a marvelous experience and relationship with a life partner, someone that we're just going to closely align with and do life with in a loving, uplifting, amazing, respectful way. But all that soulmate energy won't be there. So it may not feel like as deep as the connection, but we're human beings. We can create connection, and you don't trip over all the interesting messes either. So it's definitely got, the pros and the cons to it, like anything in life. But we absolutely can have a meaningful relationship with a life partner that is not a soulmate. So we simply haven't had lots of past history with them. And Jerry Maguire, who remembers there were so many quotable quotes in Jerry Maguire, and his line to who was in it? Was it Renee Zellweger was his love interest, and him saying, "You complete me." Please. I just, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. We're all complete. We're all working on our stuff. And we don't need someone else to complete us, because that, to me, that just really smacks of like a codependency. And don't we really want to be marvelously independent human beings that are imperfect and just come together and just enjoy being together and lift each other up the best way we can? But we're not broken, we're not incomplete, that we've got to find this like one perfect soulmate. That's another fallacy I hear from time to time. I think this one's almost gone out of vogue, that there's only one soulmate for us. There's only one, and you've got to keep looking for the one. And no, I don't believe that's true. I believe we have many potential marvelous soulmates and life partners for us. So, all right. Any other questions? We haven't really talked about soul contracts very much. So let's just take a moment or two to talk about what soul contracts are. And as I mentioned, those I see as agreements that we make on the other side with another soul before we incarnate, and we agree we're going to do XYZ together. We might be agreeing when and where we're going to meet, how we're going to recognize each other, and what we're going to be working on. We might agree that we're going to have a lovely long-term relationship with, whether it's romantic or not, whatever type of agreement it might be. We might agree we're going to have children together. We might agree on many different things. We might agree that they're going to teach us how to master forgiveness. I chose several soulmates, meaning people, souls that I've had many lifetimes with. I didn't feel I was especially good at forgiveness. I felt I could be still overly judgmental and just too black and white, too like strict a standard. And I just wanted to be more open-hearted, more loving, more kind, more forgiving, and to just forgive really easily. So that's what my soul wanted to do coming into this lifetime. So what do you think that then created? Well, to practice forgiving, you've got to create, and someone's got to help you create some experiences that you find pretty darn unforgivable. Because how else are you going to learn to forgive if you don't ever have any experiences like that you find challenging to forgive the other person? And often the hardest person of all to forgive is ourselves. So that can be the final layer of it, of really mastering forgiveness and really loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves, even though we make mistakes all day long. Some days it just feels like we're being too hard on ourselves, if we're not being compassionate and loving with ourselves, if we've got that perfectionist streak, or whatever it might be, that we just need to try and let go of, and just recognize that we really are doing the best that we can, as are others. So yes, I did meet a couple people who really tested me in that area, so that I could master forgiveness, because that's the contract I asked for with a couple of people. So does anyone else have examples like that, or does that make you think of new things? So, okay, so Darlene is asking, is there any way we can know what contracts we've made with who? Absolutely. Think of a scenario that's going on right now in your life where it is hard. It might be that there is someone that you have a relationship with and you are just struggling with it. And then kind of try and take a breath, be dispassionate about that, and ask your higher self to help you, ask your guides to help you understand, what are you meant to learn with that person? And now think, if that person had never been in your life, if you'd never met them, what would you have not learned? Would you have not had a chance to experience? And that very likely is going to start to help you understand what the soul contract is. I'll give you some examples of soul contracts. I had and this is a common one. I had a soul contract with my former husband for us to have a long-term marriage together, that we would both grow from considerably, and that we would have beautiful children together, plural, children, more than one. So guess what happened? Literally the day after our second child, our second daughter, we have two daughters, our second daughter was born. Literally the day after our youngest was born, Archangel Michael came in and told me, your contract with your husband is complete. I did not enjoy that news. Yes, that was not my finest moment of what my response was to an archangel, because that was really hard to hear. But I knew that it was right. I knew I heard correctly, and I knew I had a choice to make. I knew I could choose to stay. I knew it was up to me to choose how long to stay, because it wasn't just me in the equation. It was our children, it was our daughters, and it was my former husband. So I made the decision to stay until our daughters were 6 and 8 years old. And at that point, my husband and I divorced with as much peace and grace as we could muster. And then we went into the whole next phase of respectfully co-parenting and doing that long haul right through when they were in college. And we both had to grow a lot through that experience too. But here we are many, many years later, and everybody is doing great. But some of the contracts, they're not easy. Some of the contracts that I found with my former boyfriend, very important soulmate for me, who's featured in Regression Healing 1, he had the contract to wake me up spiritually. Forever grateful for that, because he got me on my path and got me to wake up. And I was not an easy nut to wake up. It was like they were trying to like crack open like a walnut that just did not want to, like using the nutcracker on me. And I just did not want to wake up. So I didn't meet him until I was 49. So I didn't begin to really live my purpose and do what I came here to do until I was 49 years old. So like, oh my goodness. So forever grateful to him for that. We also had a contract together for him to break my heart repeatedly until I stood in my power fully without abusing it. That is a brilliant soul contract. And that again gives you an example, because elders and guides and so many people help us craft these. Now, obviously, no one wants to have their heart broken repeatedly. So I had to stand up for myself. I had to declare better boundaries for myself, because it was not okay how he was treating me in the relationship. And the part about stepping into my power fully without abusing it, that was me shirking stepping out publicly, because I didn't want to do it. Just wanted to stay in a nice, peaceful place, hiding. That would have been fine with my human persona, but that's not what my soul planned and scripted. And I'm not in service by doing that, and by never getting on Zoom and never getting on the phone with a client and never turning the lights on, It's not, you're not fully in service. So I'm really grateful to him for that, because he pushed me and pulled me and helped me and gave me a hand up again and again and again, and said, Wendy, you've got to get these books published. How can I help you? You need to do the public speaking. How can I help you? Here's a super easy, lovely podcast host. I'm just going to connect the two of you, and you can talk with him, and he'll make it be really easy for you. And you can do this, and you're meant to do this, and get to it, girl. Because that's what I needed to hear. And I just needed someone to really, really help me. So we just went through our contracts one by one by one. And when you've completed all your contracts with people, and you may not be aware of this consciously, but it's kind of compelling how they're suddenly really gone from your life, and they just aren't there anymore. They can literally move to another country, move to another side of the country, or they're just not in your radar anymore. And it just means that that contract's complete. And I know sometimes it feels hard, if we didn't want it to be over, and we just have to make our peace with that. I had that experience with my first spiritual teacher, because I was still so enjoying working with her. But she knew the contract was complete, and she just said that to me and said, you need to spread your own wings, you need to fly. And we just need to say whatever we need to say to each other, and just no longer be in communication. So I appreciated that closure so much, and I try and always give it to other people if I'm the one that's ending it. If I know that the contract, you can just feel the energy's complete. So maybe that's a good way to know it. You may not think of it as a contract, but if you can just feel there's just no energy there anymore. You might get together out of like habit, and you're like, just, I don't even know what to talk about. anymore. Like you might feel like that about an old high school friend or college friend, or it can be a relative. It can just be there's just no more energy. There's nothing there more to learn. And I'm not saying everything has to be a learning moment. We also get, our lovely relaxation, friends and family, and you can just enjoy watching the Super Bowl together. And that is perfectly wonderful. We had the spread of all spreads yesterday. There was no deep conversation going on between 6 family members, but we just enjoyed coming together and spending a couple of hours together. So not everything has to be this big moment. So okay, so people are needing to leave and we are over time, so let us wrap up for today. And I'm just scanning if there's anything else. And sometimes when a relationship is difficult, wondering if the lesson is about kindness or about setting boundaries, like which way should I be going here? Absolutely. You are so on point with that, Darlene. When that relationship is difficult, yes, absolutely. That can be what the lesson is. So just sit with yourself and you will absolutely figure it out. And again, thank you everybody for being here. I so appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate your wonderful energy and questions and comments. And if you want to really listen to this, it will be on my YouTube. I will put it on there, which is Wendy Rose Williams. And again, thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Wendy.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you.